Hi guys, welcome back to the Southern Scouser. My first ever instant reaction from a match because the circumstance and the result call for it basically. Liverpool lose at home again, fourth straight defeat at home, fourth straight Premier League defeat as well. Everton now level on points with Liverpool with a game in hand in sixth place. And yeah, first Everton win since 1999. At Anfield, first win in 23 derbies, and I'm struggling now. I'm really struggling. You look at the lineup. Okay, it is what it is. It's unchanged from Leipzig because we had a good result midweek. There's not really any other options to bring in. Cater's back on the bench, but Chamberlain's not done enough to start. You know, the team picks itself. And yeah, a minute, 2 minutes in, Everton go 1-0 up. Kabak is just showing exactly, why he's on loan from a team currently bottom of the Bundesliga, absolutely miles off anywhere. You got Ben Davies on the bench, and Henderson, after half an hour, gets an injury. Some reason decides he can carry on for about 10 seconds and realises he can't, so he comes off. And who comes on? Nat Phillips. We've got Ben Davies on the bench, who we've just bought in January because we're so desperate for a centre-back for £2 million, who is basically now, seventh choice? What's the point? So, if you think about the level of the pecking order of the centre-backs, you've got Van Dijk number 1, Gomez number 2, that's the first choice. Matip at the start of the season would have been number 3, and you'd probably say Fabinho would be number 4. After that, you've got Kabak now is probably number 5. You've got Nat Phillips is now clearly the 6th choice. So we brought in Ben Davies to be 7th choice. Why? What was the point? He's never going to play a game. We've got, 4, 5 with Henderson going off. That's the first 5 choices of centre-backs injured or unavailable. And Ben Davies still doesn't get on the pitch. So he's never going to play a game. Unless Phillips and Kabak get injured as well, he's never going to play for us. Because Fabinho will be back soon. Henderson, I don't know how long he'll be out for. But at the start of next season, he's going to be 7th choice, unless he moves some other people on or people decide to leave this sinking ship that we're currently on. I don't know, I'm scratching my head at it all. I mean, you look at the bench today, 5 of the 9 subs are goalkeepers or defenders. There's nothing there. The squad is just pathetically poor. Simikas, a recent signing, crap. Ben Davies, crap. Kabak, crap. All right, Davies hasn't played, but if he can't even get a game in his chosen position, and when the 5 or 6 players in that position above him aren't even available, what's the point in him being there? It's not good enough. It's not even close to being good enough. We're trying to play the same style of football every week, and it doesn't work, so we try it again. And it doesn't work, so we try it again. And then we try it with different people, and it still doesn't work. Trent and Robertson had licence to be wingers when we had Van Dijk. We don't have Van Dijk at the moment, so they can't be wingers. They have to be a back 4. And they're all over the shop because we're relying on players like Kabak and Henderson at centre-back. And they're not centre-backs or not good enough. There's no pace in that at all. Richarlison, Barnes, Vardy, pretty much every single top 10 team has a forward up front that's fast. Even Newcastle have got Wilson. Zaha at Palace. Every player, every team has a fast player up front. And if you haven't got any fast defenders, it's game over. You're going to concede. Yeah, it's just a joke now. I mean, there's going to be... there was already calls for Klopp to, serious questions. Now losing at home to Everton, the Leipzig game, was a breath of fresh air. A bit like the West Ham and Spurs game where you think, oh, false hope, we're back in form. And no, that's it again. Gone. Another loss. Where's the next win coming from? If the season would have started on January the 1st, we'd be in the bottom 3. We'd be getting relegated. All the bants for Arsenal, but flirting with relegation earlier on in the season. They're nearly level with us now. Forget top 4. We're not even going to make the Europa League places at the current rate. You've got Manchester City, Man United, Leicester. They're all going to come above us. Chelsea are currently sitting 4th. You've got West Ham and Spurs. You've got Everton. You've got Villa with games in hand. Arsenal are breathing down our necks now. We're not going to finish above all of those. No chance. Where's the next win? It's just pathetic. You look at the game. As I said, 1-0 down in 3 minutes. The reaction. It's not good enough. It's the same old story. Knocking on the door, no answer. Oh, Liverpool have dominated the game. They've come out, go down 1-0 at half-time, come back out. Klopp's on the pitch doing a team huddle on the pitch. Oh, look how much we care. It's not good enough. A little bit of a flurry for the first 10 minutes. Suddenly you're an hour in, nothing's changed, and Everton are getting an easy ride to 3 points. This is not a good Everton side. Calvert-Lewin wasn't even starting. This is not a good team. Michael Keane, Holgate, Coleman's still there, Pickford, Decore, Tom Davies. It's poor. No way should we be losing 2-0 to this team. I mean, the penalty was a joke, okay? As much as we deserve to lose today, Trent slides in to block a shot from Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin then takes 2 more steps on his feet in the penalty area, decides to run into Trent's head with his knee and goes down. Ref gives a pen, and then to make it worse, runs over to the VAR, has a look at it for half a second, and he's like, no, I know I was right. He doesn't even look at it properly. That's never, ever, ever a penalty. And, I'm honest. I'm an honest Liverpool fan. I don't have red goggles. I'm not biased. If it was a penalty, I would have said, yes, it's a pen, and it's not a pen. We deserve to lose the game because we're crap, but no, that's not a penalty in any day of the week. That's poor, especially when you're VARing it as well. The people at Stockley have clearly said to the ref, you need to come and have a look at this because I'm not sure you've got the right decision. If they knew it was right, there would be no need to call him over, would they? They would just say, yeah, we've checked it on the VAR and you're right. So they've said, come and have a look just to make sure, and he doesn't even bother looking properly. Absolute disgrace. The early kick-off today, you got Southampton against Chelsea. Minamino scoring a great goal. First goal they've conceded as Tuchel's boss. He's out on loan. And, the options we're bringing on Origi with 5 minutes left when we're 2-0 down at home to Everton, thinking he's going to do something. When's the last time Origi did anything? Honestly, it's getting now to the point where something drastic has to change because we're sleepwalking into a mid-table finish. Honestly, where does it end? On my last video, I was saying that the fixtures coming up, they're favourable. The likes of Palace and Sheffield United are coming up, but we can't beat Brighton and Burnley. We can't beat Everton. We can't beat Leicester. All these different teams that play all these different styles of football and all different abilities, and we lose to all of them. We're not even getting draws. We've been on 40 points for about a month and a half. I can understand maybe, we've drawn with Everton. Okay, we've drawn with Brighton. Oh, that's a bit annoying. Oh, we've got to draw with Burnley. Oh, at least we're picking up points still. Chelsea got a disappointing result today. They got a draw with Southampton. We lost there. Of course we lost there. We lose to everybody. What has happened to this team? How has it gone this bad, this quickly? Van Dijk's out. Okay, well, we lost 7-2 to Aston Villa with Van Dijk in the team. It's like we got every possible last drop out of this Liverpool squad last year that they're completely drained and they can't go again. They've reached that peak. The pedestal was the Champions League after the heartbreak of Kiev to go out and win it again, and they did, and they missed out on the league by a point. So they're so drawn to go and do it again, and every day they're fighting for that league title, and they were unbelievable, and there was no stopping them. But as soon as they got that league title, they were crap. And as I said in my last video, it's been about a year that we've been declining. It's not, it's not a recent thing. All right, the recent thing is that we've been absolutely shocking, but we've been on a very steady decline for a good 12 months now. I don't know where to draw the line. I've got friends that are saying Klopp out. And it's difficult to fight his cause, isn't it? I mean, I'm not saying for a second that Klopp should go. He takes some of the blame. Of course he does. His tactics aren't right. You look at Thiago. I've defended him. What does he bring to the team? Nothing. I've got Fabinho and Henderson would be in there with him. He would be a better player. But, all right, you're a world-class player, apparently. You don't need to be absolutely shocking without them in the midfield. All right, you've got Wijnaldum and Jones. They're still good players. They might not make you, they might not allow you to play your absolute best game, but you don't have to go from, I counted. I think we gave the ball away 6 or 7 times in the first 5 minutes. It just, what's gonna happen. And 2 or 3 of those were Thiago. A little header went to no one. A pass out of play. Yeah, it's just a joke. The whole system is broken. How on earth we can go into another season with this squad, I don't know how. It's not going to work. FSG need to back Klopp in the summer, because if they don't, there's no way forward, is there? It's a brick wall. It's not working. It's worked in the past. That does not mean it's going to work in the future. Big changes need to be made. 5 out and 5 in the summer minimum. and not just any random 5 or a squad player here or a backup left back here. We need 5 players to bring into the first 12, 13 players in this squad and 5 out. You know, the bench, as I said earlier, is just not, there's nothing there. You've got Shaqiri, yeah, he's all right. You've got Chamberlain, doesn't come on. You know, you've got Keita, there's nothing there to call upon, is there? And then, to prove my point, the next game that we play, will probably be, other than injuries, will be the same team that it was today. Man City, if they have a bad result, they can change 7 players because they've got 7 more that can just come in at the same ability and pick players on form. We're picking players on availability. We've got no option. The same 11 are going to start next week, minus Henderson for an injury, because that's all we've got. There's nothing else. He's not going to suddenly start Smikas and Origi and Keita, and if he does, it's for the sake of it. It's not trying to improve the team. I don't know what else to say anymore, honestly. I've always been positive. I've always given myself a couple of days to download the information and do a reaction, maybe 1 or 2 games at a time. So I've got some kind of positivity to talk about, but I'm honestly coming to the end. I mean, Leipzig at home is coming up in 3 weeks' time. You know, we're 2-0 up. You'd think we'd go through that. Whoever we get in the quarterfinals will be the end of our Champions League run. You know, anyone, PSG, Juventus will probably still go through. There's some top teams in there, and we're going to get embarrassed, really, when we get, we probably will get to the quarterfinals, and that's where it will end. So we'll just be in the league after that, and yeah, I mean, we're not going to win the league, obviously. We're not going to come second. We're not going to come third. You know, we had a chance to go level with Chelsea today for 4th, which we didn't do. So that's looking increasingly unlikely because we still can't win a game. Yeah, as I said before, you've got Everton that are level on points with us now with a game in hand. All right, they might lose the game in hand, but that's level in 6th. Spurs are going to pick up some form. Where does it end? West Ham are above us easily. Who have they got? I'm looking at Everton's team. Like I said, you've got Holgate and Keane. If they were at the back for us, they'd be doing all sorts of mistakes and getting beat. But Everton play in a style that does not expose the players that are not good enough. So they have a deep back line. They counter-attack with Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison. They give James Rodriguez and Sigurdsson the ball to make play. In that number 10 role. They play solid. We're so open. Any ball through, unless Van Dijk is there, and even sometimes when he is going to be a goal. Alisson's not been anywhere near his normal self this year, obviously. Neither has Trent by a long shot. The centre-backs has just been a joke. Robertson's been all right, not his usual self, because it's difficult when you're in a crap team, but he's probably the only one that's kind of close with Henderson at their normal level. Wijnaldum doesn't look interested. I've backed him to the hills in the past, but he's been thinking, I don't need to make my mind up in January. I don't need to sign a pre-6-month deal with another team and make my mind up now. I'll see where I am in the summer. If Barcelona aren't looking great and Liverpool aren't looking great, there might be a third option. He's keeping him, but that just breathes, through the team. Everyone's like, oh, who's staying? There's rumours about Salah. Mane doesn't score very often, and that leads me to Firmino. What has happened? If there's one player to epitomise Liverpool's fall from grace, it's Firmino, who personal fall of grace is very, very similar. I mean, some of the shots he did today, his right foot literally p-rollers along the floor. His left foot, it was like swiping, 40 yards over the bar. I mean, you wouldn't even see that at youth football level. How are you not working on your weak foot? I don't know what to say anymore. How is he still here? He shouldn't be anywhere near this team. But because the only player challenging him for a striker role is Origi, who's even worse, he plays every week. We're praying for Jota to come back. Is he going to make this much difference, is he? You put Jota in the team, so suddenly we're going to start winning every week again, are we? No chance. Big changes are needed. And for me, Jurgen Klopp is walking a very dangerous line at the moment. You've got to give him the end of the season, see where we finish, because there's not much that another manager's going to be able to do from February to May with this squad anyway. So we might as well stick with him to the end of the season. If we come 5th, 6th, maybe that will make FSG go, you know what, we're sorry. Apparently they sent him a text that when he joined the club of how bad the squad was and apologised for the squad that they'd given him. Well, I think they need to do the same thing and say, we're really sorry we haven't backed you over the last year, because everybody we've brought in on the cheap has not worked. Smikas, Kabak, Ben Davies. Why are we bringing these players in? Kabak's not going to get a permanent deal, is he, at this rate? He's so average. Oh, we've been tracking him for 2 years. He's rubbish. He's got no pace. He couldn't... A little bit of wind, he couldn't work out where the ball was going to fall. He couldn't judge it. He was all over the shop. He's been booked. He's played 3 games. He's been booked in every single game. What does that tell you? He's too slow. He cannot catch the striker, so he brings him down, or he mistimes his tackle every single week because he's not good enough. You know, Klopp needs to say, given the end of the season, if we come 5th or 6th, okay, we need to invest seriously. I mean, I'm honestly getting to the point where I'd rather that happen than us sneak 4th, because then they'll be like, oh, it's just a crap season, it's COVID, we've been a bit unlucky with injuries, we'll just go again with the same squad next year, maybe add 1 or 2, but nothing major. You know, if we finish outside the Champions League, a bit like Man United, every time they come out the top 4, they smash it with the investment. Once they're back in that top 4, they ease off the pedal a bit more because that's kind of the minimum. So maybe that's the best thing for us. Let's come 5th or 6th or, God forbid, 7th or 8th as well. Maybe that'd be better and have no Europa League football as well. And just, literally, spend 100, 200 million on this team. Obviously, you can sell some players to get some funds, but FSG need to put their finger in their pockets because, you look at this team. I've compared it to Man City in the past with, you need 2 players in every position that are a good and, a great and a decent, or world class and a very good. As I've said before, the gap between our first and second choice in positions is pathetic, and the depth of the squad has just been shown this year. And because we're in rubbish form and there's no depth in squad, we have to keep playing the out of form players. It's just not good enough. It's nowhere near good enough, and it's just honestly where the next result comes from. Where does the next win come from? Because currently, as I say, we're sleepwalking away from the top 4. If we're not even in the Champions League next season, all the likes of Salah want to stay as well. Will they look for a move? Salah's the only player that actually scores goals for us, so a lot of players call for him to leave. I would definitely be keeping Salah. There's a lot of players I'd sell before Salah, and you could easily raise, I say easily, the players that you're looking to sell's value are falling pretty rapidly at the moment, but, I think you could make easily, 50 mil easily by selling a couple of players. I think you could probably make 100 million if you sold, 6, 7, 8 players in this squad that are clearly not good enough and are on the fringes, because we need to relegate half of this first 11 to the bench and bring in 4 or 5 starters that are fresh, hungry for success, because half of this team feel like they've done it. We've got every ounce out of this team like Leicester did in 2016, Morgan and Hoof. They got every last drip. It was like a last hurrah. It's now or never, because after this year, we've put ourselves in a really good position, and if we don't follow through this year, we're not going to win the league next year. No one expects us to win the league even this year. And they, they got every ounce of effort out of that squad, and that's exactly what we did last season, clearly, because this team and this squad is not good enough to maintain this level going forward. City, they come second one year, disaster. Well, now they're miles ahead again. They're going to win the league again. They're going to win the Carabao Cup probably again. All right, they haven't won the Champions League, but they're going to win it. They're going to get a lot further in it this year than we are, I would suspect. So, big change is needed. I'll be doing obviously future videos, and I'll hopefully do a feature video about some transfers again soon. But yeah, disappointing result for the Reds today. I look forward to looking through some other Reds channels and live reactions and stuff like that. But for me, Klopp ticking down now. Give him to the end of the season at least. But if we start next season in the same vein with the majority of the same players and the same man in charge, and in maybe Christmas time we're still not in the top 4 and are out the title race again by Jan, I think either Klopp's going to walk or something's going to have to change, because clearly something's happened internally. It's not right, is it? Something needs to be changed. Someone needs to come in maybe that's got fresh ideas, not just play the same way. The definition of insanity, just trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It's not working. Teams know how to set up against us. Teams know how to stop us scoring, and they know how to get at us, because obviously we've got no defenders. So the next match, you've got Kabak at centre-back. Will Fabinho be back? I doubt it. So you're going to have Nat Phillips and Kabak at centre-back. God almighty. You might as well have a couple of snails. Honestly, it's just, season is basically over domestically, isn't it now? It's damage limitation. Can we sneak 4th? I doubt it. Can we come in the top 6? Possibly, but no. I know it's really, really poor. I'm pretty much writing off the season. enjoy the Leipzig game, guys, because I think that might be the last time we have a success of something to look forward to, and we can watch ourselves get battered in the quarterfinals. See you soon, guys. Take care. This has been the Southern Scouser.